this discussion, I'll be talking about chapters 1 through 3 of Simon Sinek's The Infinite Game. In chapter 1, Simon Sinek talks about the infinite game and the finite game. In the finite game, he talks about people thinking in a more finite mindset of just wanting to complete one goal of maybe being the best or just anything that is short term and then completing it, and then once you're done, it's just like you're done and you're happy. But Cynic says that people should think in a more infinite manner, and that people should always just keep thinking to become better, and that will improve the longevity of them working for the future. And an example I'll give of when I was thinking in a more finite manner was when I was volunteering for the college football national playoff, and I had to find an extension cord for the other volunteers to plug into a cooler so they could have their cold drinks. And I could not find that extension cord. And the night before, we did not all properly prepare by supplying the extension cords upstairs right away. We instead could not find them, and then we just waited until the next day and we just still couldn't find them. So instead of me just thinking of the wider goal of just making sure all the volunteers are happy and having cooler drinks, I was just looking for an extension cord the whole time, which is a finite goal of just even if I did find it, I would just like it would just be cool. I found it, and then that would be it. In chapter 2, Cynic talks about the 5 standards of just cause, which are for something, inexclusive, service oriented, resilient, and idealistic. The example that I'll use for this is the NFL. For something, I, I thought that the NFL is always looking to make football safer for its athletes and enjoyable for its fans. The NFL always implements new rules and gets new equipment, as well as making sure fans are safely socially distancing, as well as before pre-COVID, they would hire enough security to make sure every fan feels safe and to make sure all stadiums are safe and secure and nothing bad were to happen within the stadiums. For an exclusive, the NFL allows scientists to pitch in their ideas and what the NFL should do to make sure their game is safer, as well as hearing out from the fans to see how stadiums can become safer. For service oriented, I I thought or I the NFL gathers money together for their breast cancer awareness month, which is now an all cancer awareness month, and they pool in that money and give it to the cancer society or any cancer charity that they can instead of just breast cancer. And the NFL also service oriented by donating money to many other charities and even having a Man of the Year award to inspire other athletes to get involved with their charities. The NFL is resilient because they change their rules very quick. Like they'll change their rules within a year basis to make sure all the rules are the same. But an example is the pass interference rule, which they changed like 3 times now. Like they change it every single like they change it so much because they want to make the game safe but yet still playable to where fans aren't complaining that the player didn't get a chance to do something or whatever. And another example of resilience I'll give is when Houston got hit with their hurricane and JJ Watt started a foundation. And the NFL decided, hey, let's pitch in money because the Texans they're an NFL team and we want the NFL to live up to high standards and therefore making them having them back up Houston and having Houston rebuilt faster with all the food supplies and everything. And an example of idealistic is the NFL always trying to make the game safer. The NFL will never be a completely safe game with no injuries, but they can try to get rid of concussions or CTE, I should say. So in the future, when players do a long career of 10 plus years, that they can live their life and not have any emotional troubles or any troubles, any troubled thoughts or anything like that. In chapter 3, Cynic talks about 4 things that are not just causes. And the first one he brings up is moonshots, which is when John F. Kennedy launched rockets to the moon, and Neil Armstrong ended up overall getting on the moon and taking the first steps on the moon. But he said that that was still a finite goal. Even though it seemed impossible at the time, he made it possible. And once he made it possible, it happened, and then it's a finite goal, and then he won the game. And his Cynic's next not just cause is being the best rather than just being better. Athletes have always been striving to be the best, but really they should always just want to be better. Like as a kid, like every athlete has said, I want to be the best someday. Like I'm sure LeBron James has said it. And he eventually obtained being the best athlete in the NFL or NBA in present day. But rather than rather than just becoming the best and then that's it, he should just want to keep being better and better and better every single day. And I'm sure that's how he thinks from maintaining his best standard and staying up there for so long. The next one is company growth, and that is from a more financial viewpoint of if your company has a lot of money, you should, that means that your company is great and fantastic, but that's not really a just cause because, like, it's cool that you have money, but if you're not affecting a cause for the future, like solving world hunger or doing something that's nearly impossible, there's really no point. And the last one you put is corporate social responsibility, which this is something that all great companies should have anyway, like giving an employee a day off because they worked really hard, or a bonus, or something along those lines. That's something that all great companies should have no matter what, and that shouldn't just be seen as a just cause of we're the we're always working towards a better future by giving our employees days off. And a mission statement that I believe is not a just cause is Under Armour's. And their mission statement is to make all athletes better through science, passion, and their relentlessness pursuit of innovation. And I believe that this is not a cause because not everyone is an athlete. Under Armour should make this more broad by stating that we're here to make everyone better and not just athletes. And the concept overall that I believe taught me the most out of these 3 chapters is really the infinite game. It taught me that you should keep striving to accomplish many things in life rather than just accomplish one thing and that's it. You should always, like if I had a company someday, I should always aspire to have that company live up to the top standards and then give people the tools for when I leave that company can maintain its longevity. And this is overall what I learned from chapters 1 through 3 of The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek.